Hello students, so in this module we are starting with a very important topic of the chapter, which is the menstrual cycle. Right now we're just talking about the introduction to the menstrual cycle. Now when we talk about menstrual cycle, students, we use some other terms also. For example, ovarian cycle, because there are a lot of changes which are going to be happening in the ovaries. We also use a term called as human reproductive cycle for menstrual cycle. Now menstrual cycle, students, occurs in which animals? It occurs in primates. That means man, monkeys and apes, menstrual cycle takes place. In non-primate students, there is another cycle which we call as estrous cycle, which occurs in them. But in primates, menstrual cycle, and we need to study right now menstrual cycle. Now when we talk about menstrual cycle, students, of course it is a cycle. So there are going to be cyclic changes which are going to be happening in a rhythmic manner. So this is how you're going to define menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle is that cyclic where cyclic changes in a rhythmic fashion occur. But where are these changes happening? In two organs in a female, which are ovaries and uterus of the female reproductive tract. So it's easy to define menstrual cycle. Cyclic changes in a rhythmic fashion occurring in ovaries and the uterus of the female genital tract. How many days on an average, students, is a menstrual cycle? A menstrual cycle on an average takes, students, 28 days. That's the average. It may vary in different female. It may vary in the same female in different months too. But on an average, we say it is of 28 days. Now, menstrual cycle begins at puberty. And the first menstrual flow is called as menarche, which is occurring around 13 years, which we say when the puberty sets in. Menarche is the first menstrual flow, and the cessation or termination is called as menopause. It's menopause when the menstrual cycle ends, students, which occurs around 45 years of age on an average. Again, there may be a different range in different women. Now the time period between these two, that means 13 years and 45 years, this is called as the reproductive span or the reproductive period in a female. And naturally we see it is around 32 years. When she is reproductively, she is active. Menstrual cycle, students, is divided into 4 phases. Now right now in this module, students, we are going to be just learning the names in a proper sequence of these different phases. First phase, when the menstrual flow begins, is called as the menstrual phase or the bleeding phase. After this, students, the second phase, remember we are just learning the names. Second phase is called as follicular phase or proliferative phase. Third phase is when the ovum is released. That's called as ovulatory phase. And the last phase is when the corpus luteum is formed. That's why it's called as luteal phase or the secretory phase. I hope you learned the names of the different phases of the menstrual cycle. We are going to be dealing with each of these phases in details in the next module, students. So in this module, students, we started with the menstrual cycle. Next module, we are continuing with the menstrual cycle. Till then, take care.